Um, so I found out recently that Mr. Rogers' last words were spoken to his wife, saying something. It was something like, "Am I going to be a sheep?" He was a very religious man, very intent on getting into heaven. So I saw an article that explained the context of that line, that statement, which is that something biblical somewhere in the Bible, I don't even know what the context is, where it's like the good sheeps go to heaven and the bad goats go to hell or something like that. And he wanted to know if he was going to be a sheep. Now, all of the people who've watched his show over the years and who know who he is and know what he's all about, they know he's a sheep. They know he's like one of the most heaven-worthy people of all time. I'm not claiming to be religious enough to believe or not believe in heaven. I'm just saying that for those who do, and for Mr. Rogers, who believes it strongly, then, like, if that's what you believe, then you are very certain that that's where he is right now. But people are saying those are haunting last words because, like, we see that he's very fit for heaven, but he doesn't see that. And if he doesn't see that, then what does that mean for us? And I'm just thinking that doesn't mean that he doesn't see it in himself, because he knows that he's done his best in life. He knew that. And I just think maybe it's like kind of the equivalent of, like, if you know for a fact that you're a really good singer, and you know that for a fact everyone has loved your singing voice, and then you decide to go on, like, American Idol or something. American Idol, and you get really nervous beforehand because you're like, this is a big deal. I might go to Hollywood, I might not, and I'm just really nervous. Am I worthy of it? Even though you know you're an amazing singer. Just like Mr. Rogers knew he was an amazing person, but suddenly he's faced with, he's gonna die in a moment. Am I gonna make it to heaven? Like, yeah, we can all see that you're gonna make it to heaven, just like we can all see that this amazing singer is gonna go to Hollywood. It's the equivalent of, like, your insecurity flares up right before a big moment in your life. And, Mr. Rogers' big moment in his life was the very last moment, for someone as religious as him. Um, and yeah, like, everyone's got insecurities. For some who have issues with it, they're like everywhere. I don't think Mr. Rogers had issues with it, but that doesn't mean they weren't there. I mean, he was human, so of course he's gonna have insecurities about some things. And um so I don't, everyone's got insecurity, and sometimes an insecure person will say something negative or questioning about themselves, and everyone else who looks at them and knows them are like, we know for a fact that that's not true, or like, we know for a fact that you shouldn't be asking that question. Just like Mr. Rogers was insecure about his ability to get into heaven right before he got into heaven, which is understandable. If there's any time to be insecure about something you believe so powerfully in, that is the most likely time, I think. Because it's just like, because that was the point where he knew that he had no more time in his life to try to make it into heaven. He's like, whatever I've done so far is all that I have to be judged on. It's like, yeah, so I can understand how it can be nerve-wracking, and it can fill you with a little bit of insecurity. But, like, we can all see that, like, if you believe in heaven, he went there. He's there. So that's kind of, I don't know, I had that on my mind.